Hi, Dale Titus here with 2-Minute Bass Lessons. Today I'm doing the third installment on studio tools. But it's also, I took a little bit of a deviation from my lesson plan because I received an email about miking bass cabinets. And it kind of goes hand in hand. I do a lot of recording in my home studio, and so I am my own engineer and I use my own gear. And I used to, like many guys, just throw an SM57 dynamic mic in front of my cabinet and mic it that way. And for many years I thought that was fine. And then I had an amazing conversation at a NAMM show with Larry Villela, who is the president and founder of ADK microphones. And he had a new microphone at the time, it's now kind of an industry standard, called the S7. And it's a condenser microphone. It requires phantom power supply. But it was specifically created to handle loud sources. So like loud bass cabinets, loud guitars. In fact, I apologize, I'm not a schematics specs guy, but it can handle really high SPL, sound pressure levels. So he let me demo it, and I was amazed that I got so much more dimension to my bass tone, and I didn't realize how much just using a dynamic microphone was kind of just giving me a flat, not flat in the good way, but kind of just giving me a real plain sound. So he showed me the S7, and it's an amazing microphone. I do take it on any sessions I go to, but you always have to watch, because a lot of engineers and studio owners just trust their gear, and that's fine. And if it's not your project, then no problem. Just use whatever they think sounds great. But on occasion, if I've got a good relationship with the people behind the boards, I'll just say, hey, let's just A/B it, and I haven't had one guy say they didn't like it. So it's a good microphone. It's actually not very expensive. I mean, a lot of these condenser microphones can be over $1,000, and this is well below that, And it's just amazing. It's built like a tank, but it just has so much definition and is really well suited for bass cabinets and guitar cabinets, but I particularly like it on bass. Now, the question specifically that was asked to me from the email is, where about mic placement, and how, should I put it on the cone? And if you know a speaker, you have the center cone. Some guys mic right in front of that. Some guys go off a little bit, off center. I even asked around to some of my friends who own studios, and there is really no one way, because every time you move that microphone, you get a different tone or different dynamic effect. So the thing is, experiment. If you're lucky enough to have a home studio, grab yourself a great mic and spend a day. It's really well worth it to get a small mic stand. I like the small boom stands, not just the little desktop stands, because I can actually then really move it on an axis a lot better. And I'll put it right on the cone, and then I'll play different techniques for bass. I'll slap and then hear that effect. I'll play fingerstyle, I'll play harmonics, and then I'll move it off the center of the cone, just to the outside, and then record that, and then compare that to the two. I'll even do things like put it farther away or closer. Just recently, actually I shouldn't say recently, it was last year, I did a recording where I put this S7 right on pretty close, I think within about 8 inches of the cabinet. And then I took another ADK mic that I had, which is the TC, and I put it far away as I could get. Had to be careful about phase, but with modern technology it's pretty easy to eliminate being out of phase. And what I was getting is this really nice, close, warm sound from this mic, and then with the distant mic I was getting more of the room. So I used that just a little bit, maybe 2% in my ultimate mixdown, but it did give this really great ambiance to the recording. So don't take my word for it. Go out and try as many different mics as you can. Ask people you respect. Whenever you do a session, look what they're putting on your mic and see how they're doing it. But it really comes, where the rubber meets the road is you getting a mic that you trust and you like the performance of, and experiment with placement. And be very diligent in your note taking, because what's worse, nothing's worse than having this perfect sound. It's the Nirvana, awesome, this is godlike sound, and you get so excited and you can't remember, was it off axis, on axis, was it close mic, was it distant mic? So take really detailed notes about what each placement did, where it was specifically, and what was the effect. Was it warmer? Was it brighter? You do that work and your bass recordings are going to get much, much better. I should say that I always record a direct signal with my mic signal, because that gives me the best of both worlds, and then I can play with mixing them and putting 80% to one to 20% the other, or just playing around to get the effect that matches that particular song the best. So Studio Tools 3, find a great mic for your bass cabinet, invest in it. Don't trust that the studios that you go to will have one. Nowadays there's more and more guys who are recording great recordings out of their home, and they don't have the budget of a large studio, so they don't have a closet full of mics usually. So having one you could bring in could make their day, and if you've already used it and you know how to do it, it makes their job a lot easier. So Studio Tools number 3, good mic, and practice your miking techniques. Experiment, find what works for you. Alright, thanks for stopping by. If you want to talk about this anymore, or you want more information, I don't mind helping. Just email me at dalet@danitygoods.com, or you can go to adkmic.com and really see the mics for yourself. Alright, thanks for stopping by.